The debate between Homelander and Supergirl has been a popular one among superhero fans for quite some time. Both are incredibly powerful beings from different universes, and both possess abilities that make them formidable opponents. But who would win if these two titans were to face off in an epic battle? In this video, we will dive deep into their powers, backgrounds, strengths, and weaknesses to determine who would come out on top in a showdown between Homelander from the Boys and Supergirl from DC Comics. The origins and background of Homelander and Supergirl. Before we compare their powers and abilities, it's crucial to understand who these two characters are and where they come from. Let's start with Homelander, a character created for The Boys, a series set in a world where superheroes are marketed and managed by a powerful corporation called Vought International. Unlike most superheroes, who are often depicted as virtuous and noble, Homelander is a dark reflection of what unchecked power can do. He was raised in a laboratory, experimented on, and groomed to become the world's ultimate superhero. But this isolated and abusive upbringing shaped him into a sociopathic figure. Homelander isn't just a superhero, he's a corporate product, a PR machine, more concerned with his public image and power than any moral code. Supergirl, on the other hand, hails from DC Comics. Her real name is Kara Zor-El, and she is Superman's cousin, originating from the planet Krypton. Sent to Earth as a teenager, she shares many of the same powers as Superman due to her Kryptonian biology, which absorbs the yellow sun's energy. Unlike Homelander, Supergirl is an embodiment of hope and justice. Raised by a human family, Kara carries a strong moral compass and dedicates herself to protecting the innocent and fighting for what's right. Her character is deeply connected to themes of family, compassion, and justice. These two are fundamentally different in their worldviews, which would undoubtedly influence the way they approach a fight. Homelander's ruthless nature and desire for domination contrasts sharply with Supergirl's sense of responsibility and justice. But when it comes to sheer power, how do they match up? Powers and abilities. A breakdown. Homelander and Supergirl both possess incredible abilities, but they differ significantly in terms of the scope and application of their powers. Homelander's abilities mirror those of Superman in many ways. Super strength, invulnerability, flight, heat vision, and enhanced senses such as super hearing. Homelander can single-handedly take down armies, and in the universe of The Boys, no one comes close to matching his strength. His heat vision can melt steel. His strength allows him to lift massive objects, and his ability to fly at supersonic speeds makes him nearly untouchable in combat. He's basically indestructible within his own universe, and most of his opponents stand no chance. Supergirl, however, is in a league of her own. Like her cousin Superman, she also has super strength, flight, heat vision, and invulnerability. But what sets Supergirl apart is her experience in handling cosmic-level threats. She has fought some of the most powerful villains in the DC universe, including Brainiac, Darkseid, and even Doomsday, foes that would easily dwarf the threats Homelander faces. Her speed is often said to rival the Flash, and her heat vision is one of the most powerful in the DC universe. In addition to these, Supergirl also possesses freeze breath and superhuman intelligence due to her Kryptonian heritage, giving her an edge in both combat strategy and execution. One of the key differences between Homelander and Supergirl is their relationship to the sun. While both get their powers from solar radiation, Supergirl is a Kryptonian, and thus her abilities are directly tied to the yellow sun. The longer she is exposed to it, the stronger she gets. Homelander, on the other hand, does not have this kind of connection, meaning that while he may be incredibly strong, his power has a limit, whereas Supergirl's could potentially grow infinitely stronger in the right conditions. Weaknesses and vulnerabilities. Both Homelander and Supergirl have weaknesses that could be exploited in a battle. Homelander, despite his immense power, has several critical vulnerabilities. One of the most significant is his mental instability. He is deeply insecure, constantly seeking approval and adoration from the public. His obsession with control and power over people means that his enemies could potentially manipulate his emotions to gain the upper hand. Additionally, Homelander does not have any known physical vulnerabilities like kryptonite, but his arrogance often leads him to underestimate his opponents, making him reckless. Supergirl, while physically powerful, shares the same vulnerabilities as her cousin Superman. Kryptonite, a radioactive element from her home planet of Krypton, can severely weaken her and even kill her if she is exposed to it for too long. Additionally, magic is another significant weakness for Supergirl, as Kryptonians are generally vulnerable to magical attacks, which bypass their natural defenses. However, in a battle with Homelander, kryptonite would not be an issue unless he somehow obtained it, which is unlikely since it does not exist in his universe. One of the most critical factors that could influence this battle is their moral compass. Supergirl often holds back in fights, especially against opponents weaker than her, as she does not wish to cause unnecessary harm. This restraint could be a disadvantage against someone like Homelander, who has no such qualms about killing or maiming his enemies. In a no-holds-barred fight, Homelander's ruthlessness could give him the upper hand, at least temporarily. Who would win in a fight? Now that we've explored their origins, powers, and weaknesses, the question remains, who would win in a fight between Homelander and Supergirl? While both are incredibly powerful, the evidence points towards Supergirl as the likely victor. Her experience fighting cosmic threats, her near-limitless strength under the yellow sun, and her unwavering moral compass would give her the edge in the long run. Even though Homelander is a brutal and formidable opponent, his psychological weaknesses and lack of experience dealing with truly godlike foes would ultimately lead to his downfall. Supergirl's power level is simply beyond what Homelander is capable of handling. She has defeated enemies that make Homelander look like an amateur, and her connection to the yellow sun means that the longer the fight goes on, the stronger she becomes. Additionally, Supergirl's intelligence and strategic thinking would allow her to outmaneuver Homelander, using his arrogance and recklessness against him. In the end, while Homelander might put up a fierce fight initially, Supergirl's superior strength, experience, and tactical mind would allow her to win decisively. So, if these two ever faced off in a battle, it's safe to say that Supergirl would emerge victorious, proving once again that truth, justice, and hope always prevail. Conclusion: Supergirl stands victorious. While Homelander is undoubtedly one of the most dangerous and powerful figures in his universe, Supergirl's overwhelming strength, experience with intergalactic threats, and unbreakable moral code would allow her to defeat him in a battle. The fight would be epic, no doubt, but in the end, Supergirl's superior abilities and resilience would lead her to victory. Check out my other videos for more epic character crossovers and battles. Thanks for watching, and stay happy and healthy.